This is the launch episode of Royally Rumbled, another podcast about fake fighting. Uh,
Yet another one.
and I am Robert,
And I'm Jordan.
and you've heard of us before from our other podcast. And so we've decided to offshoot here to talk exclusively about all things WWE, and what better way to start that off than with the SummerSlam that is coming up this Sunday.
SummerSlam 2017. Pretty big event on the WWE network. We're also going to branch off quick and talk about NXT Takeover.
Yep.
So there's 5 matches announced. Let's, I guess, just roll right into it.
NXT Takeover 3 from Brooklyn.
Yeah, big event at the Barclays Center. That is this Saturday night. It's currently Wednesday night. We're recording this. NXT hasn't even aired yet, but we're going to go ahead and roll right into the matches that are already announced and who our picks are, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, not much is going to change tonight. It's just to get you interested in watching it. So it's all the stories are already set, all the matches are already set for NXT Takeover. Maybe a stipulation might change, but overall it's probably just going to be what we've got listed here.
Yeah, the biggest influence is Roderick Strong versus Drew McIntyre is the main event of tonight's NXT.
Yeah.
And then it's just if Roderick Strong wins, he gets a match with Bobby Roode in the future.
Okay.
I don't think it said anything about a title match. They're just in a feud, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. First match I have down here is Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus a returning Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, so who you got?
I got Johnny Gargano. He's gonna come back. He's got to have some momentum. And in my opinion, he's possibly the most over face in NXT right now.
Definitely. I have him down to win also. It's going to be an exciting match because Gargano is always like really fun to watch in the ring, but also Almas is also very good. I love his matches. Ever since he fucking debuted, I've been such a fan of his. So it's going to be good. Johnny always shows himself to be really durable. He always takes a beating, and I don't think that's going to be any different here, but I think he winds up doing the face thing and taking the beating and then winning at the end. So
yeah, definitely. And it's interesting to see what they're doing with Andrade and Zelina. It's like his showmanship side keeps popping out, and she's like, no, cut it the fuck out.
Yep.
You know, you've got to focus. And I feel like that's going to play a part in the match.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be like a distraction kind of thing, and Johnny winds up getting the roll up or something, but yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, definitely excited for that one. Next up, Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami.
Yeah. This one is nuts, man.
They're going to kick the shit out of each other.
I literally have that written down. Aleister Black is on a roll, but Itami has watched opportunities pass him by due to injury, so who's actually going to win this? Like, they both have a lot riding on it. Black wants to continue his streak, but Itami, you know, it would be nice for him to get a win over one of these new guys that's going to wind up passing him.
Yeah, I have Hideo actually winning this as well. I think he needs a big win for sure.
Yeah.
One that's not Chris Hero.
Well, you said big win, so.
Fuck him. God, I'm so sick of Chris Hero.
When you said big win.
I didn't mean his gut.
He's fat, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
From one fat guy to another. He's fat.
Moving on. The NXT Tag Team Championships, Authors of Pain defending against Sanity.
Yeah.
Who you got and why?
I have the champs retaining because I literally don't care at all. And when in doubt, you just go with the champs. So Authors of Pain winning because who gives a shit?
Yeah, I have the Authors of Pain winning as well. Honestly, I can't picture Sanity holding the titles. I feel like they're going to be like another Wyatt family situation where they don't need the championships. So therefore, I just can't picture them holding titles and doing that.
Because what's the point?
Yeah, Nikki Cross is an exception there to that rule.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like she could be a good NXT Women's Champion. But even so, I feel like the tag team, no.
Yeah, I got you. This match on paper, I really don't give a shit about. I don't know what it is. I'm just like, the Authors of Pain are not interesting to me at all.
No, they're kind of dangerous. So it'll be interesting to see at least that, to see how hard these guys are going to go at each other. Because they're all big. They're all a bunch of big dudes.
Yeah.
So there's at least that. Next up, we got the NXT Women's Championship.
Yep.
Asuka, who's over 500 days now as the champion.
Unbelievable, man.
Is defending against Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about this match back around WrestleMania time when they had their first encounter. And I'm pretty sure we both picked Ember Moon to win that.
Yep.
Who do you have and why?
I have, so this is, the explanation I have written down is this. Asuka is my favorite women's performer in WWE right now. And if the rumors of another superstar shakeup are true, I could see her finally dropping it to Ember Moon and then moving right up to the main roster. Because there were some rumblings that another superstar shakeup is going to happen after SummerSlam. I haven't heard anything confirmed about it, but I read it a couple different times in a couple different days, so I wasn't sure if this was a real thing. So
I hope not.
It absolutely ruined everything after WrestleMania. So, if that is the case, I see her dropping it. If not, what reason do they have to make her lose now? You know?
Yeah.
They might as well just let this roll out.
And that's the way I'm thinking. I'm thinking Asuka's going to retain, actually.
Yeah.
And reason being, I think it would be very interesting because there's not really any other big contenders for that title.
No, she's beat them all.
Yeah. She's beat every single person that's been put in front of her. And I think it would be really cool since the Mae Young Classic is happening. I think it would be cool if the winner of that gets an NXT title shot against her. And then that would be like a new, fresh, believable contender.
Yeah, because she just got through, what is it, 16 or 32 other women?
Yeah, something like that.
So that'd be really interesting. Yeah, because they haven't really said what the prize of that is.
No. It's
because with the cruiserweight thing, it made sense to have it be a cruiserweight championship, but for this, there's already a women's championship on every level.
Yeah.
So that would make a lot of sense to make it be a number one contendership tournament, basically.
Yeah, it's like you win the tournament, you get an NXT contract, and you get a title shot against the undefeated Asuka.
Yeah, and that would put NXT over way bigger, too, because this women's tournament has already got a lot of buzz behind it, you know?
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal.
So, like, having the winner go to NXT as opposed to, like, to the main roster is a big deal.
Yeah.
So I like that idea. I like that idea.
Yeah. And then the main event, we have the NXT Championship match. The glorious one, Bobby Roode, defending his title against Drew McIntyre.
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
Ever since he debuted years ago, I've just not been interested in him as a performer at all. So I obviously would not be interested in this now. If they want, my only thing is if they want some legs to this feud, you have McIntyre win. And then have Bobby Roode chase for a while, because since he showed up, he kind of almost immediately became champion. So, it'd be nice to have him do the chasing for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think McIntyre makes sense as the NXT champion. Like I'm not taking anything away from him as a person. I'm just not interested in the character that they make him be. And then they 3M beat him, which really made me not interested. So,
what I think is going to happen here is I think Bobby Roode's going to retain. Something's going to happen with Roderick Strong. They're not just going to leave him off the pay-per-view.
Right.
I don't know if Roderick Strong's going to accidentally cost McIntyre the match, but I could see McIntyre turning heel and then feuding with Strong, which would then leave Bobby Roode open to hopefully a Johnny Gargano match. I think that would be smart. Or even like Aleister Black, if him and Itami, just to get some fresh competition in there.
Yeah, because NXT's roster is just kind of depleted.
Yeah, and it feels like they don't really have any big stars. And that's kind of the reason why I fell out of watching it on a consistent weekly basis.
Yeah, well, everybody you liked went away.
Yeah.
So it's just like, oh, okay.
And it's like they have all of these really good guys, but they're all in the mid card.
Yeah,
almost.
They're all middling. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. That's exactly what I was going to say.
So yeah, that's NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3.
Takeover Brooklyn 3.
So
on to the main course here, SummerSlam.
Yes. And there's been no confirmation as far as what matches are going to be on the pre-show.
I've got one confirmed for the pre-show. They announced today Tozawa versus Neville is on the kickoff show. Again,
which is what I figured, but
yeah. So then I would imagine that. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if they put Big Show and Big Cass on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah, at this point, I have a feeling like they're gonna do something with the Hardys and the Club on the pre-show.
Yeah, they could probably do that.
Because it just feels strange
that they're not on the program at all.
Not on the program, yeah.
Yeah, which is weird.
But that's just because
we're talking about
the injury.
We're talking about the Hardys going into WrestleMania. We had both picked Enzo and Cass to be the tag team champions, which I'm convinced was going to be a thing had the Hardy Boys not re-signed and come back. But because they did, the Hardy Boys kind of moved to the front of the line, won those titles, and then Enzo and Cass, we know what happened with them. So, do you want to roll Raw or SmackDown first? Their matches.
Do you want to do 1 and 1?
Yeah, we could do that. So start off with the Tag Team Championship match for Raw. We'll go Raw and then SmackDown, and then we'll bounce back and forth.
All right, that makes sense.
So the Raw Tag Team Championship match is Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar, versus Rollins and Ambrose, 2/3 of the Shield. So,
we all saw
the will they or won't they for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and then finally they kicked the shit out of each other. Then they kicked the shit out of Sheamus and Cesaro, and decided to put the past behind them and finally get back together.
Yeah, and that crowd was awesome.
Yeah,
that crowd was unreal for that.
Yeah,
this past Monday's Raw.
That crowd reaction was legitimate. It was loud, and they were over the top.
And stuff like that gets me excited.
Yeah.
When I'm watching wrestling and I see the crowd super into something, it gets me hyped up.
Hell yeah.
It reminds me of when I was at WrestleMania 28 and I'm just high-fiving everyone next to me.
Yeah.
Because everyone's super excited over wrestling, and it's beautiful.
So, About Sheamus and Cesaro, in my opinion, they've been fantastic. They blossomed into a force as two massively successful superstars on their own right, teaming up. So, especially considering how drawn out that best of 7 series was that they had.
Yeah, which their first match actually took place a year ago
Yeah.
at last year's SummerSlam.
So, like, them getting these titles and actually getting some chemistry together as a team has been awesome. And they're really good. Like, they're really good now together. And they're not, when you see them on screen together, you're not like, fuck this, I'm going to change the channel. It's actually, they're good.
And it's weird because it feels like they weren't really a unified tandem until WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So since then, since March, I feel like they've been on the top of their game.
Totally.
I couldn't agree more.
But
that being said,
when you come up against Rollins and Ambrose reforming the Shield to that crowd reaction, I don't think there's any other way for this to go down. I think Rollins and Ambrose have to win.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no other reason for them to get back to lose. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense.
There's no direction for them to go.
Because do we really want to see Rollins and Ambrose beating the shit out of each other while we're waiting for the Royal Rumble to happen? You know what I mean? Because we did that once before a few years ago. We don't need to do that again. So I have Rollins and Ambrose.
Yeah, I originally had Sheamus and Cesaro, but once I was actually sat down and I thought about it, it doesn't make sense for anything else to happen.
Right.
So Ambrose and Rollins have to win this one. And then I feel like this match will be the feel-good moment of the night.
Yeah.
This is gonna get the loudest reaction out of everything.
Yeah.
Is just Ambrose and Rollins winning.
So, over on to SmackDown. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship match would be the New Day versus the Usos.
And it's Xavier Woods and Big E.
Yep.
They specifically mentioned that.
Yeah. So
this past Tuesday on SmackDown, the Usos wrestled Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and they won clean.
Yep.
So,
well, I just want to say that the heel Usos have absolutely revitalized their careers.
Yes, 110%.
Which is interesting that, this tactic doesn't get employed on other people who have been faced for a really long time. But I think this feud that they've got going on has been really fun and really interesting. But I'll watch the New Day do anything.
Yeah,
I watched them halfway host WrestleMania, so I think that the New Day continues their domination. What I think they're really building towards is New Day holding the tag team championships on SmackDown for the same amount of time that they held them on Raw, if not longer.
Really?
Yeah. Have them do it on both and go down as like one of the best groups of all time.
Huh. That's a really interesting thought. Honestly, I've got the Usos winning.
Okay.
I think the Usos are going to pull the win off, leading to more matches because the feud is good.
Yeah.
It's got legs to stand on. And just the chemistry between the two teams is awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to see Usos win, and I want to see more New Day versus Usos. There's really not another set of challengers.
No, SmackDown.
Because SmackDown's tag team division
started off so strong.
With Jason Jordan.
It started off so strong. They had the better tag team division when they did the initial draft, and then it's just been completely wiped out.
Yeah. It really makes me question why they're doing what they're doing as far as making decisions for the tag team division. I feel like nobody really gives a shit. They're like, well, we'll just put the belts on the New Day and that'll be good.
Uh-huh.
Although
That's why I think they're just going to hold them.
although I think Breezango is fucking incredible.
Yeah, they'll get a shot eventually.
They're super entertaining. Everything that they've been doing with the backstage stuff.
Yeah, give them 5 minutes and a hot camera and let them go.
Yeah, exactly. Their match against the Usos for the titles a couple months ago, that was my match of the night on that pay-per-view. It was so entertaining. So I want to see those guys succeed. So I feel like maybe they'll get another chance down the road, and I'd like to see them work a program with the New Day. So
oh hell yeah, dude, that'd be so funny.
Yeah,
it would be so fucking entertaining.
Definitely.
So then back over to Raw. The next one I have written down is Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
Demon Finn Balor. Now
Yeah.
these two had a very good match on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they did. We got that for free, and then Bray won clean. That was great.
And a lot of people were like pissed off. They were like, "Oh, they're giving this away on free TV." I don't understand that. I don't understand the negativity. I would rather, because you knew going into this that Balor was going to do the Demon.
Yeah.
You knew. So to bring back the Demon Finn Balor to wrestle Bray Wyatt and just crush him, because I have a feeling like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Wouldn't make sense. So Wyatt needs more momentum going into that. So the way that they're booking this feud has been so smart. So Finn needs to really bring out the demon side.
Yeah.
You know,
all that said, there's no way Finn is not winning this match.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a continuation of not feud specific, but just overall Bray Wyatt twisting in the wind. And
that's the only unfortunate part about this.
Yeah.
See, if Wyatt was on like a winning streak, at some point this feud would mean so much more.
Yeah.
And I love Finn Balor.
Oh, yeah.
I feel bad for the way that Wyatt's been floundering, because I do genuinely enjoy him as a performer.
They just don't let him ever get legs, ever.
Yeah.
Even when he became champion going into WrestleMania, they just cut his legs off again by moving him to Raw for no reason in the middle of a feud before his blowback match to potentially get his title back. Didn't make any sense.
And he didn't even get that.
No, he didn't. It didn't even make sense. Didn't even fucking make sense. Speaking of things that don't make sense, back over on SmackDown, Baron Corbin versus John Cena.
Oh boy!
And I was gonna say Mr. Money in the Bank Baron Corbin, but that's not true.
Nope.
Because rather than have him face someone in a match where he put the Money in the Bank contract up for grabs, at the end of SmackDown Tuesday night, they had Baron Corbin completely waste his opportunity in a way that made no sense whatsoever. Also, he's really green, because the camera was on him for a good portion of it, waiting for.
And he's staring at Cena.
Staring like he might as well have just
constantly looking over his shoulder,
held up a sign, and he's supposed to be selling that whole time, and he's just concerned. Like the referee has to ring the bell. Like, you know how this works, man. Like, come on. And it's not even like, oh man, he had the jitters. It was like, no, he's getting fucked over here. So I don't know what the decision making is there. It's totally backward.
I don't know. I have a feeling like
if you reverse course on a guy, at least give the opportunity to somebody else. Don't just because then, and that's the worst. The worst part about this is that SmackDown exclusively had the Money in the Bank pay-per-view themselves. And it seems like for both winners, they made huge mistakes. And then
100%.
They solidified that by having an immediate redo of the women's match where they decided to have the same outcome but in a different way, which is how they should have done it on the pay-per-view to begin with. And then they soured on Baron Corbin for some reason, even though he's been the best he's ever been in his career in the last
Yep.
couple months, and then they just take it away from him. It doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. But
I don't know
anyway,
if they just wanted to add fire to the match with Cena to make it like, oh, well, now Corbin's even more mad at John Cena
Yeah.
because...
well, John
So, I don't
Cena
know if the
gets
writers...
John Cena gets to be, like why would you do that? Why would you use Cena in this way? Because all you do is put fuel on the fire of the entire internet wrestling community, where Cena yet again has ruined another fucking young guy's career. That's all anybody's going to say about it. Is that they, in order to get heat for their match, they took away Baron Corbin's opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, why would you even put yourself in that position?
Well, here's what I'm thinking happens. Obviously, I think Baron Corbin's going to win this match.
Yeah.
John Cena has lost consecutively over the last few years at SummerSlam. So it's just a matter of Cena putting over people. So I feel like Corbin's gonna win, and then he will be entitled to a future WWE Championship match.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thought process.
Yeah.
And I totally believe that what they want you to think his character is thinking is like, oh, well, this is going to be the cheap way. I'm going to, get away with this and do this. Because honestly, they had him exit the ring like he was walking to the back. And then he had that moment where he was like, I don't know what to do. Maybe okay, well, let me run down and cash in.
Yeah.
He didn't even hit him.
No.
He didn't hit him again.
No, he didn't do anything. He just stood there staring at John Cena through this corner of his eye, and then got really awful distracted by Cena, and then got rolled up by fucking Jinder Mahal, and then it was over. It was so stupid.
Yeah, so I've got Corbin winning.
Yeah, I didn't even write down a winner. I just was like, these guys are both clunky. I have no idea what they're thinking.
It's going to be interesting, at least.
Speaking of things that are optimistically interesting, over on Raw, we've got Big Show versus Big Cass.
Is it optimistically interesting?
Well, if you're going to be optimistically interesting about Corbin Cena, that's the only optics you could have on this one.
I feel like this is going to go less than 10 minutes.
Oh, dude, if this gets to 5 minutes, I'd be shocked. They have that shark cage from the Jericho match. They're just going to put Enzo in it because they paid for it already. Cass is going to go over in 5 minutes or less in this. It's going to be the fastest fucking thing you ever saw. I don't know what the plan is.
They're going to wrestle for 30 minutes.
It's a last man standing match.
So I have Cass winning as well. However, I think we're going to get a huge spot out of this. I think Enzo's going to break out of the cage and possibly hit like a dive.
Oh, Jesus
onto
Christ.
both of them. I think that's going to happen. Now there's rumors going around of Enzo possibly turning heel and reuniting with Cass. I know we've kind of talked about this before, but I want to get I want to talk about it here.
You want to enter it into the official
canon? We might as well.
Oh God. Well, Enzo and Cass breaking up was stupid. It wasn't handled properly. It was written terrible. Enzo trying to get Cass to stay with him like a weird boyfriend thing was stupid. Cass's whole demeanor now just doesn't seem natural at all.
No.
Because you could tell he wants to laugh and smile, but he's not allowed to. And that seems weird. And if you take Cass away from Enzo, what do you do with Enzo? Because they're not going to put him in the cruiserweight division for whatever reason. Even though I think he would be the spark to bring that back to life.
He posted a Snapchat like last week where it's like a selfie and he said 206 pounds or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
he's too much for 205. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, I there's all these rumors going around about how Enzo is his character on and off screen, and people don't like him backstage, and apparently, it's tradition in wrestling or WWE or whatever to
It's wrestling. It's a wrestling thing.
to thank a guy for a match after you have it, and apparently Enzo said you're welcome to somebody, and suddenly everybody was offended. But
I totally believe that.
oh no, I totally believe it too, but I don't. Where everybody's taking it as some sort of affront where he was being an asshole. He's still relatively new to the whole culture. So maybe somebody said thank you to him and he just said you're welcome because that's what you do. I don't know. I'm just devil's advocating here. Like, is that enough to bury somebody like this?
Well, I feel like it's that on top of the million other things that, have been reported.
Yeah, but
I don't know how much is true. I don't know any, but I'm just saying if all that stuff actually happened, let's just say it did, and then this happened, I totally understand why that would push it over the edge. Because now he's just being an asshole.
But now
he's just being disrespectful.
But he's also selling more merch than the guys that you want to sell merch. So what do you do?
Exactly. And even Corey Graves said, I don't like him personally.
Yeah.
But I want Enzo on the team.
Yeah.
Because he's good.
He's even without Cass, his crowd reaction's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
even that promo that he cut the night of their match, Enzo versus Cass on that pay-per-view, the crowd was so into it.
Yeah.
Because
they're trying
Enzo's natural.
Yeah, they're trying to kill him to the crowd and it's not working.
No.
It's not working. And it's not going to work because you spent not even including his NXT time, just his main roster time, you've spent almost 2 years now completely building up this guy to have the microphone as long as he wants, to say whatever he wants, and then you try to have Cass bury him with Vince's words, and it didn't work. So now they're just in this weird thing where Big Show's involved for some reason. It's all stupid. Cass is going to win in 5 minutes, and whatever happens after that is going to happen. But I don't know.
Yeah. I hope everyone figures it out what to do with him, because I know you texted me the other day and you said, I just have a bad feeling they're just going to release him.
Yeah.
Release him.
I feel like it's just going to be one of those things where you're going to wake up and it's just going to be like Enzo released, and it's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
And then he's going to do his 90-day. He's going to do his indie tour, and he's not going to wrestle anymore after that.
Yeah.
Because he's not a wrestler first. So he's not going to continue to do it if he doesn't have to. He'll make appearances and make $10,000 a fucking pop.
Yeah.
Maybe even more, depending on if a club really wants this guy. But it's absurd that you're not going to, if you have a guy with that, you have a guy with that drawing power and you're not going to keep him. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Or do something creatively with him.
Right. Why can't he just be Cass's manager if you don't want them to be a tag team?
Yeah.
It would be the same exact thing, only instead of having him on the apron, he's standing on the outside of the ring. What's the difference? Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And
speaking of feuds that don't make sense, Orton versus Rusev.
Oh God, please! I literally have written down, please. Rusev needs this. Needs with 2 underlines.
I wrote, this is thrown together. Who wins? ? Who cares ?
Oh God. They have totally botched Rusev since his return.
Oh yeah. Totally.
They don't know what the fuck to do with him.
Nope. And Randy Orton has turned into Randy Borton again. So.
Yep. There's just 2 guys. They're like, well, they've never really wrestled each other before, in a program. So
yeah, so
let's put them together.
Yep. Moving on. Because there's really
So,
nothing else to say about that.
Yeah, I think Rusev's gonna win. But
I hope
like
for
you
him.
said, who cares? Where does that go?
I officially have Randy Orton down as my pick, but again, I don't. Whatever. I want Rusev to win. I like the guy. He's one of my favorites, but they don't do anything with him a lot like Bray Wyatt. Maybe it's the body type.
I don't know. They need to do that thing where they make Rusev love America.
Oh yeah, when we were talking,
And turn him face.
Jordan, myself, and Jordan's older brother, Jason, had pitched an idea to each other where Rusev turns face, and instead of doing the I hate America stuff, he really loves America now because he's realizing its beauty. And
he turns into a tourist.
They do so. It's tourist Rusev, and in every American city that they go to, it's him and Lana taking pictures in front of monuments, and he's wearing like Hawaiian shirts and flip flops and cargo shorts, and just make him a full blown America character.
Yeah, because why not have him face Jinder for the title,
dude? That's
a money program right there.
The thing about Rusev is that he's actually really funny in a low key way, so he could totally do this. Yeah. And it would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious but good.
Right.
It wouldn't be oh God, here's Rusev again.
Right.
He'd be entertaining.
Right, because he would be just imagine all of the anti-America stuff that he's done, and just reverse it with the same passion. Aggressively waving the American flag, and running down the fact that people don't like the city that they're in, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't like St. Louis?
Oh God.
It's beautiful here. I think it'd be fucking amazing.
Speaking of things that are beautiful.
Yeah.
The women's championship match on Raw. Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
Versus Sasha Banks.
Yeah. I don't care who wins. I just want to watch.
They legitimately don't like each other, apparently.
Yeah, I heard that. I read that. That they're professional and cordial to one another, but
which is great.
As people, they don't care for one another, which is really interesting.
Yeah, because that's the way that life works. But you just got to suck it up and
right. So it'll be
do your job.
It'll be really interesting to see if one of them throws an actual knee in the other one's face.
I feel like Sasha would be the one to do that.
Yeah.
I've got Alexa winning. I feel like Nia Jax is going to be involved somehow, some way.
I have.
It sucks what happened to Bayley.
Yeah, well, I have Sasha winning, and I wrote this is supposed to be Bayley's spot. Who knows what's happening with the Raw Women's division? Yeah. Because they can't do one storyline at a time. They can't do more than one storyline at a time.
Oh,
because
no.
It just turns into multiple women in every match because they don't know what to do. So I have Sasha winning because if they had Alexa losing to Bayley, which I think probably would have happened, they might have still penciled her in to lose anyway. But they give it to Sasha because they eventually want Sasha to turn heel on Bayley anyway going into WrestleMania. So we might as well just get there.
I feel like that's not going to happen yet.
No, I mean, I'm just saying that you might as well do it.
Yeah. So the SmackDown women's title. Speaking of something to just do.
Yeah.
We get Naomi defending against Natalya.
Yeah. And I have down here Natty's involved, so I'm bored already. Naomi dominates.
Yeah. I have Naomi up there.
Yeah.
And I think the only relevant thing to discuss here is Carmella.
Yeah.
She's been teasing a cash in, and I think what's going to happen is Carmella comes out and teases it because maybe Natalya attacks her at the end of the match, whatever. Natalya leaves. Carmella comes out, teases the cash in before the referee could ring the bell. Naomi could like get the upper hand on Carmella and like knock her down, and then Ellsworth is going to run over to the timekeeper, grab the briefcase, and leave before the referee can ring the bell.
Right. To save it for her.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I feel like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think Carmella's cashing it in anytime soon.
I hope not. I hope she holds that for like nearly a year.
Yeah, I don't think that she's cashing it anytime soon. I think they want to keep Naomi the champ for a long time because of that glowing title that they spent money on.
And Naomi's good.
Dude, I and I'm really happy for her, and I love what she's done and with the opportunity that she's been given, and I'm glad that they gave it back to her after she got hurt.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah. So what do you got next on Raw? Cruiserweight?
The Cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Akira Tozawa, who just won the title on Monday, versus Neville. These guys have been having awesome matches with each other.
Yeah.
In like a really good way. Like they've been really... Tozawa's really entertaining, and I said that to you during the Cruiserweight Classic. Like I was like, I love this guy.
Yeah, and especially pairing him with Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, at first it was weird, but it's turned into like a weird Rush Hour thing that they've got going on.
That's like the perfect way to describe
it. They've got a Rush Hour thing going on where I don't know why the two of them are together, but it's really entertaining to see.
Yeah, and it makes Titus relevant where he doesn't have to wrestle.
Yeah.
Because he just wants to be a coach.
And then Tozawa does his yell thing, and it's all fun.
Yeah. That match was amazing on Raw, by the way.
I know.
And I know a lot of people were bitching about, oh, well, why did this happen on Raw? Again, I feel like, A, they would have been on the pre-show, which they're still on the pre-show.
Yeah.
So just do it on Raw. And B, they got a lot of time.
There's a chance that more people saw it on Raw than would have seen it on the pre-show.
Exactly.
So take that however you want to take it. But I do have Neville down as winning it back. But I don't know. That's just a guess. I think they wanted to drum up some buzz for it. You know?
Yeah, I think Tozawa's gonna retain.
I wouldn't be upset about it at all. I'm just saying I think that Neville wins it back because I don't know. I don't know what to expect anymore.
And I had written down after a great match, Tozawa retains. I expect it to steal the show, and then in parentheses I put if it's not on the pre-show.
so all of that's different. It's a 5-minute match and it's over.
No, I could see them going 10. They're gonna go 10 minutes at least.
Yeah, the pre-show is always way underdone than what they could do with that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not even Sunday Night Heat level good usually. It's just a waste.
And I think that's part of the reason why Austin Aries got so frustrated because he kept bumping the cruiserweights
always
pre-show. But yeah, so part of me is hoping that Neville loses here and then leaves to 205 Live to go back to like Raw.
Okay.
And honestly, I really want them to start mixing the cruiserweights in with the main roster because we're seeing the same fucking people wrestle
over and over
every
I think that there's a chance that that's going to happen because if I'm not mistaken, they stopped changing the ring over.
Yeah, and I'm glad about that too because that was just like an unnecessary thing.
Yeah, they were trying to brand it too hard. If that makes sense.
Like I want to see like a cruiserweight wrestle like Braun Strowman.
Well, I don't want to see that because they're just going to go with Braun Strowman. The cruiserweight's
but I want to see it be in like a good match.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that. You already know they're not going to do that.
I know they're not going to, but hypothetically, in my headcanon, I would prefer that to be a thing.
I don't mean to make your headcanon backfire. You just know that that's not a thing. Styles versus Owens for the United States Championship.
Shane McMahon, special guest referee.
Yeah, a special guest referee match. We don't get those anymore.
No, we really don't.
I'm I wrote down this is going to be the match of the night, but I have no clue. There's so many questions on SmackDown. And I officially have Kevin Owens winning as my prediction. I don't know why. I have no basis for that. I'm just saying it.
My prediction is AJ Styles is going to retain the United States title because they've passed it back and forth too much.
Yeah.
This is going to be the end of their feud. Because otherwise it's just going to be too much.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to something to do with Shane, and we're going to get Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens in the future.
Okay, so what does Shane jump off of in this match?
Well, he's not jumping off of anything.
He's not going to have
He's going to get pushed.
He's not going to have a huge spot.
No.
Wow.
He can't. He's the ref.
What a waste. Why put him in it then?
He's going to run away from Kevin Owens, climb up the Tron. Kevin Owens is going to take a kendo stick.
Oh, that's my favorite thing ever.
And knock him from the Tron.
That was my favorite thing ever.
But yeah, so I'm thinking whatever happens, Shane McMahon's basically going to cost Kevin Owens the title again.
Yeah.
And then leads to future conflict.
To the feud that nobody's asking for, but we're going to get anyway.
So what do you got next?
No, we'll do the Universal Championship Fatal 4-Way. So that is Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship in a Fatal 4-Way, one fall to the finish match.
Yeah, this is going to be a big brawling...
Hell yeah.
Beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Knock 'em out match. I hope that it lasts longer than 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to get ample time.
Yeah.
Because Lesnar doesn't have to do everything.
That's true, yeah.
So they're really going to have the other guys carry this. And Lesnar will be involved at the beginning and then probably towards the end, and that'll be it. Like, he doesn't actually have to do a lot of work. Yeah, which is apparently an issue for him. So, because he's immediately blown up as soon as the fucking bell rings.
It's the funniest fucking thing. Oh man!
So I have on my paper here, Roman Reigns winning, but it's the manner in which he wins that is the interesting thing, because I have Rollins and Ambrose helping Roman Reigns win the title, getting the Shield back together. And I know that that's a fan's dream, but that's not why.
Is it a fan? Well, it's a fan's. It's not.
But that's not why That's not why I think it's going to happen. I think Vince McMahon heard the same crowd reaction that we just talked about for Rollins and Ambrose, and he wants that reaction for Roman Reigns. So he's going to do everything in his power to piggyback Roman Reigns onto any good thing in the same way that he did with John Cena years prior. The best example of that I could think of is, remember when Zack Ryder made himself very, very, very relevant on the internet?
Oh, yes.
And then what did they do? They gave that to John Cena. They had them come together, and then they left Zack Ryder in the dust, and John Cena took all of the crowd's good fortune. So I could definitely see him going, oh my God, they really want this. Let's have Rollins and Ambrose, after winning the tag team championships, might I add, show up and put at least two people through a table in a triple powerbomb and have Roman Reigns do the pin. Because it's a fatal four-way, it's not a disqualification match.
That's true.
So Rollins and Ambrose are going to show up. They're going to drop two people through tables with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going to stand tall at the end of the pay-per-view. They're all going to do the shield fists in the center deal, and the crowd's going to be fucking unglued, and Vince is going to go, "We did it. We got Roman Reigns over."
See, I don't think that they're going to get that reaction if Roman wins.
You can't strip the things away from one another. It's going to happen. Everybody wants the Shield back together.
So I have Brock retaining here.
That would be worse to me than Roman Reigns having another fucking title run.
My thing here is Brock is going to narrowly retain, and then it's going to lead to a future match against Braun Strowman.
Yeah, well, they already have him penciled in to face Strowman at the next pay-per-view.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I think it's No Mercy for Raw.
Anyway, I think we're going to get a Triple Shield reunion the next night on Raw. I don't think it's going to happen at the pay-per-view.
It'll be the most talked about thing at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's
blow
just
the roof off of Brooklyn.
It's just me hoping to God. I just don't want to see Roman Reigns hold the title because
I don't either.
He doesn't need it.
But it's gonna be super powered Shield. It's gonna be Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion, and Rollins and Ambrose as the tag team champions. And then there's even an outside chance that they get the IC title on Rollins also.
Oh my God, don't.
Yeah.
Please, God.
Yeah.
I love Seth Rollins. There's no reason why he needs to hold two titles at the same time.
Again?
Again.
I'm just saying, because they have that weird thing going on with The Miz. And Ambrose has already wrestled him to death and back again.
I don't know if you could hear me sigh, but I'm sighing.
So I think that Rollins would be immediately entered into a thing with Ambrose, or with The Miz. And he would wind up probably with the Intercontinental title, along with the Tag Team Championships, in the superpowered Shield. But
there's
also
only one man that could break that up, and it's John Cena.
Who would Vince have win?
Cena's going to win all the titles. This whole thing has been a ploy to get us behind John Cena.
But so indulge me for a moment so let's say all of that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rollins has already turned heel on all of them once. Who turns heel next?
Ambrose.
But then who cares?
And that thought had crossed my mind is Sheamus and Cesaro winning and then Ambrose turning on Rollins at the end of the match.
See, that would be such a waste.
I know it would be a waste because I don't want to see Ambrose and Rollins again in a feud.
No.
There's no need. They're together. Let them fucking be together for a little while.
Well, so the idea in my head is that they have superpowered Shield come together, and maybe they don't hold the tag titles for as long as it seems, but like they never officially break up, but they're not always together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they just like operate as allies of one another when necessary, but they don't.
Yeah, so it's like the Megazords come together.
Yeah, like they don't need to all come out at the same time and be on the apron for one another all the time. Like maybe initially for like that first month, but then after that they kind of operate on their own. But when the
like,
Shield
okay,
needs
I'm gonna
to,
go over here, you go over here. And
yeah, but when it's convenient and the story, when they need a plot magic or something, then you pull them back together to save one another.
Yeah,
I think it's the safest way to do it, but that's just me. So the last match.
Speaking of safe,
yeah. The WWE Championship, Jinder Mahal, the champion. Let me say that again. Jinder Mahal, the WWE champion, versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is the correct response.
So what I have written down here, and I'm going to preface this with, I'm not the biggest Nakamura fan.
Yeah.
But I think that this is going to be Nakamura's moment, and it'll add legs to the feud, and then we'll get Jinder versus Nakamura going forward for a couple of months. Jinder has momentum,
Yeah.
but he really hasn't had that amazing match yet.
No. And
Every single one of his matches have been forgettable, except for when the Great Khali fucking showed up randomly out of nowhere and shook Randy Orton off the Punjabi prison.
And then rose the title as if he won it.
Yeah. But I feel like Jinder deserves to stay in the title picture. So I'm hoping that these two put on a good match.
Yeah. Well, I have that written down too. I said this could be good. I want to see big time performances out of both of them. But
because this is gonna make or break Jinder. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
I imagine that Jinder Mahal wins and he continues his, I guess you could call it dominant heel run, because he's really good on a microphone.
He's good,
and he's really good as the leader of that group.
The Singh brothers.
He's really good at that.
They're gonna totally play a part.
Oh yeah, totally
in this.
So it should be interesting. There's no reason why this match is not at least a 4-star match.
Like, I'm gonna sit there and I will watch it.
Yeah, and if it's not good, I'm gonna be really upset because
it has potential.
It really does,
especially looking at it on paper. Out of all of the matches on SummerSlam, this is definitely within the top 4 for me.
And you're like, wow, okay, I want to see something interesting here. So hope for the best. And I feel like
Nakamura really hasn't given us like a good performance since coming to the main roster. I'll be the first one to say it.
Yeah, I don't know that they've given him enough to. I mean, I get putting him with Ziggler at first was a good idea.
With Ziggler, and then their match was boring as hell.
Yeah, but whose fault is that? I couldn't believe it. Yeah, whose fault is that? Is it the fault of the producer?
The agents?
Like, I don't know. It could be anything, because we've seen Nakamura have fucking awesome, really well done matches.
Yeah,
but since he's been to the main roster, it's all just kind of been like a lot more show than tell. So
yes. 100%. So
they keep calling him the rock star, which really bothers me.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
I thought it was the artist.
The artist, yeah. The fucking whatever. Oh god.
Yeah, who gives a shit?
Why can't he just be what he is? Like
a fucking weirdo.
Remember we like all paid to see him in NXT for a really long time, and we really liked that guy. Can he just be that guy?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. He's just... I don't know. That's my opinion on him.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he fucking shows up for SummerSlam.
I hope they both show up. I'd really like that match to be the match of the night.
Me too.
Just so you could be like, wow, man, they tore it down, the two of them. I didn't think that was gonna, but shit.
Exactly.
But that's
time will tell.
Yeah, so that's SummerSlam. That's a lot of us complaining about SummerSlam.
Well, I think it's justified.
It is, and there's a lot of good.
Yeah.
There's some bad. There's a lot of potential for a really good show.
Yeah.
And is this one 4 hours? Is this one 4 hours, just like WrestleMania?
Yeah. So the pre-show starts at 5, and then the main roster show starts at 7, so 4 hours. A lot of wrestling.
There's 12 matches, so they're gonna get 2 of them on the pre-show. We already know that the one is the Cruiserweight Championship match. We don't know what the other one's gonna be, but they're not gonna put Randy Orton on the pre-show. They're not gonna put John Cena or AJ Styles on the pre-show. They're not gonna put Finn Balor on the pre-show. So you're
maybe Cass and
you're looking at Cass and Big Show, or one of the women's matches, or
one of the tag
matches. Yeah.
Well, it would if anything, it would be like New Day and Usos, because they're not going to waste Ambrose and Rollins on the pre-show.
So it's tough. To figure out what they're going to put on the pre-show, but they're going to put another one on there. So
yeah. So.
But yeah, man,
I'm excited.
Yeah.
As much as I complain, I'm complaining because
I'm a fan.
I want to see it. I want to be blown away. I want John Cena and Baron Corbin to tear the house down. You know?
That's the weirdest sentence in the world.
I just want a good show.
Yeah.
And I think everyone wants a good show.
Yeah, and they don't have Pitbull performing, so it's infinitely better.
Oh, well, so this was the premiere episode.
This is number 1. If you like
sure
hearing
thumbs
the
up.
two of us complain about this stuff, listen to more of our stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to have more of these. We're going to have more of these coming forward.
Thumbs up, subscribe.
Yeah.
You know, we like talking about this stuff. We want to hear your opinions. So if you guys have predictions, send them our way.
You could find me on Twitter and Instagram now at at Yezball.
And you could find me on Twitter and Instagram at Alex Shepard with no vowels.
No vowels except for that first A.
Yes. It's a very abbreviated version of Alex Shepard.
But yeah, so check it out. Let us know what you thought.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah, signing off. This is Royally Rumbled. You've been royally rumbled.
I'm Jordan.
I'm Robert.
Thank you.
Good night.